I have an alter ego in me called Bjorn.
Bjorn?
Bjorn.
Uh-huh.
Yes, yeah. And
who is Bjorn?
Bjorn is just the kind of like, pillaging sort of Viking. And yeah, he's way back in the Dark Ages somewhere. I mean, the sins of the father visited on. I know that something is wrong there. But Bjorn is a, he's an axe murderer. He gets off a boat.
So Bjorn's still there?
Bjorn's there, but I've done a lot of damage to him. Yeah, I don't want to be Bjorn again. We're born.
So the point here is not to talk about the science research on how common multiple personality is, but there's actually people who crop up in the media fairly regularly saying they have multiple personality or sounding like they do. Mm-hmm. And another was Mel Gibson. So I have a article from Der Spiegel magazine, I'm pretty sure it is, from Germany, and I've seen him talking on the Jay Leno show about it. So this is his version of what's going on with him. He says that ever since way back, he's had a character inside him, Bjorn, who's a Viking. And Bjorn comes out and acts wild and carouses and misbehaves. And so he's had to bury Bjorn in the sand inside his mind. But every once in a while, a hand comes up through the sand, and then he's got to push him back down again. And he's telling the story to the interviewer in the German magazine and also telling it to Jay Leno. And Jay Leno starts chuckling and says, "Oh, I think I met Bjorn back in your 20s. Mm-hmm. And then Mel Gibson says that sometimes he lets Bjorn participate in some of his acting roles, which would really make sense for Braveheart. So.
Yeah, that's the first thing that came to mind for me, for certainly.
So, I mean, either he's just talking and it doesn't mean anything, or that's a pretty clear description of multiple personalities, that he's got this separate character who comes out and misbehaves and he pushes him back inside. And then if you watch the movie The Beaver, that's with Jodie Foster, where Jodie Foster and Mel Gibson are married, it's a movie exactly about that. That he's kind of depressed and he's not functioning very well as a character in a movie. He puts on this hand puppet of a beaver, and all of a sudden the beaver is talking to him. So it's a separate alter personality who kind of pumps him up and gets him back functioning again and becomes quite a success. And it becomes a whole kind of shtick that he does in public. But there's a intense conflict between him and the beaver.
Right.
And in the end, he cuts his arm off to get rid of the beaver.
Interesting.
So again, that doesn't prove anything. I can't say anything for sure.
Right.
But sure would make me consider the possibility.
Right.
And then when we go to these violent behaviors that he does that seems very out of character, and when he gets arrested or stopped by the police in the middle of the night, he's clearly drunk driving, and he's doing anti-Semitic ranting. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't be half surprised if the alcohol takes the lid off, out comes Bjorn, and Bjorn is the one who's ranting. So I still would hold Mel Gibson legally responsible. He doesn't get off the hook. Mm-hmm. But if you're going to try and help him with that behavior, and if he does have this Bjorn character inside, you're not going to get anywhere until you've helped those two guys learn how to live together a little better.